Hey guys, it's Trina and this is my September TBR to be read list. So these are the books that I'm planning to read in September, and this month I'm doing the same thing that I did last year on my channel, which is what I've been calling Sequel September. This is not part of any other readathons or anything. I just did it last year randomly. There were actually plans in the work to make this a real readathon this year where anyone can join. Myself and Izzy from the channel Isabeau's Literary Musings were trying to set this up, and then a couple of other people actually beat us to it and are doing the exact same thing. Personally, I didn't want to put a lot of time and effort into setting up like a community-wide readathon when literally the exact same thing already existed twice. So I'm just doing this on my own again. The first two books I'm putting on my TBR for September actually are not sequels, but I do want to read them this month because I was sent these advanced copies, and these are both books coming out in September, so I need to get on it. The first of those is Warcross by Marie Lu. I am currently between chapters of this. I am on chapter 4. This is a YA sci-fi about this video game that is basically taken over the world. Our main character is a hacker. She ends up hacking her way into the system and gaining the notice of the game's creator himself, who then recruits her to like be his personal spy and like track down a criminal or something. Sounds very intriguing to me, so I was definitely interested in this book already before Penguin Teen sent me this arc, and I'm really happy to have it. This one comes out on September 12th, so I am planning to read it before then, and I will post my review on Goodreads whenever I am finished. The other arc on my list this month is Jane Unlimited by Kristen Cashore, which was also sent to me by Penguin Teen, and this one comes out on September 19th, so again, I'm needing to read it before then to post a review on Goodreads a little bit early. This is about a main character who was raised by her aunt, and she's promised her aunt that if she ever gets invited to this thing, she'll go, and then her aunt dies and she gets invited to this thing, so she goes to fulfill that promise to her aunt. And apparently what it is she's invited to go to this mysterious island that no one really knows much about, and while she is there she's going to have to make 5 choices that will greatly impact her life. This is a book that I'm actually just really itching to read. Otherwise it would not be on my TBR this month because I want to make more room for sequels, but like I am dying to read this book. On to the sequel portion of this TBR. So the way that I am doing this is I knew I wanted to focus on sequels this month. I checked a bunch of them out from the library that are part of series that I'm really interested in. So I have 8 sequels here, and I'm going to show you all 8 that I have, but I'm only going to make it a goal for myself to read 4 of these this month. And since there are so many, I'm going to try to run through these pretty quickly, so if I don't give you guys a good description, I will put Goodreads links down below. So the first sequel that is on my radar this month is The Ends of the World by Maggie Hall, which is the third and final book in the Conspiracy of Us trilogy. I just started this trilogy this year. It's one that you can really breeze through, so I am hoping to finish this book this month and actually knock out and like complete an entire series. That would be really amazing. Then I have A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I own this book. I've owned it since the day it came out because I went to the launch party for this book and I have not read it yet. This is the second book in the Shades of Magic trilogy, so I'm 2 books behind in this series. Next I have The Savage Dawn by Melissa Gray, which is the third and final book in the Girl at Midnight trilogy. This is a series that I really enjoy. There is a Latinx own voices main character. I love the group of characters in this book, and I really can't wait to see how this series ends. It's such an underrated series, but it's very intense. Again, hopefully I can get to this one this month and actually finish a series. That would be awesome. I also have Obsidian and Stars by Julie Eschbach, which is the sequel to Ivory and Bone. I think that there are going to be 3 books in this series. I'm not totally sure on that, but this is a prehistoric YA series. The first book had some Pride and Prejudice elements to it. I have no idea where the story is going in this second book, but I did really enjoy Ivory and Bone, so I'm just kind of looking forward to more of that prehistoric setting because it's not something I've read much about. Then I have 2 books by Sophie Jordan because I'm behind on 2 of her series. The first is Unleashed, and this is the second and final book in her Uninvited duology, and it's like a dystopian sci-fi about genetics. Scientists have pinpointed the gene for violence, and our main character finds out she has it, and society all of a sudden treats her like she's gonna be a murderer one day, so let's go ahead and treat her like she has already committed these crimes. So it's like a great examination of the Pygmalion or the Golem effect. I really loved the first book, and it has been years since I've read it, so I've put this one off for so long for absolutely no reason. And I have Rise of Fire, which is the second and final book in her Reign of Shadows duology. This book only came out this year. I'm just a few months behind, just a few, like, came out in February, so that's probably more than a few months. But I really enjoyed the first book. It has like a post-apocalyptic survival type vibe to it. I just really enjoyed both of Sophie Jordan's first books, and really have no excuse to not have finished these because they're only duologies. I also have Like a River Glorious by Rae Carson, which is the sequel to Walk on Earth a Stranger. This is part of the Gold Seer trilogy. I think it's just going to be 3 books. This is like historical fiction set during the California gold rush. The main character can sense where gold is in the ground, and she's trying to keep her power a secret. I really love the survival tone of that first book. I really enjoyed it. So again, no good reason why I haven't continued the series other than I'm just a slacker. And my final option here is A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, which is the sequel to An Ember in the Ashes. I think this is the second book in the trilogy. I think there's just going to be 3 books, or actually there might be 4 books. I don't remember. I'm not exactly sure. But I did really enjoy the first book, and I'm at a point where I think I'm starting to forget the things that were big plot points and of a lot of importance in the first book, and I really need to continue this series before I like totally forget things. So these are my options for sequels that I might read this month, and in addition was The Ends of the World by Maggie Hall, which is a digital copy. I have that one on audiobook, which is why it's not in this stack. But out of these books, I'm hoping to read 4 of them this month. So 4 sequels, and then these 2 arcs. That is my TBR for the month, total of 6 books. If you guys are behind on any of these series, let me know that too, and then I won't feel as alone. And I would especially like to know if you've read any of the sequels that I showed. If you listened to them on audiobook, let me know how the audiobook was. I would also love to know what series you guys are behind on that you really want to hurry up and catch up on. I will check in with my TBR at the end of the month in my reading wrap up, so check back with that to see how I did with these reading goals for September. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy reading, and I will see you in the comments. Bye!